Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to session 20 of the Seregen campaign. I'm the Wombat of DM, and below me we have...
Hello, I'm the Banewall. I am Belzian, the half-elf monk.
I'm playing Roger Mays, the Wood Elf Assassin. Wood Elf Assassin? Yes, he would.
I'm playing Ulrich Oakenhearth, the human paladin.
I am playing Yarvik Venisonbringer, the Halfling Ranger.
uh, not with us today, but with the party is Zippo, the Kobold Sorcerer Warlock, and the NPC, Jordan, the Trusty Human Bard. Also, Yarvik, you kind of cut your name off at the beginning to Yarvs, and I liked it. I think that might be a neat nickname for your
Yep,
character,
that's
Yarvs.
good. Yarvs for short. I like that.
Yeah,
It's casual.
yeah. So, welcome to the new year, guys. Happy 2022. We are on session 20. We have a nice even round double 10 number. And if last we recall, we ended campaign on quite a doozy of an episode. You went to the royal chambers to investigate the potential of somebody threatening the king who might be shape changed in some way, shape, or form. Tested a guard to make sure that they were trustworthy. Got in to see the king by the king's own invitation. And then everything was going well and fine until you started deducing and testing the king to see if they were indeed Shadow. And at that point, when Marius showed up, the king threw you all under the bus and tried to have you arrested immediately. And things went to hell in a handbasket very quickly from there. We had some combat, fighting guards. Marius had a change of heart in the middle through some efforts from Ulrich. And then Ulrich had a realization that Shadow quite possibly is the dead Prince Gerard, who was thought to have died during the war 4 years ago. And that's kind of where we are today, right? So after Shadow kind of revealed himself by face as Gerard, he shadowed out. The shadow was quickly sucked up by Roger, but he had once again jumped 60 feet away to try and escape. Currently, Yarvik is hot on his heels. Ulrich behind Yarvik, who had just said, "My king, wait for me." And Zippo has attacked Ulrich at this point for his sudden betrayal. So that's kind of where we are right now, right in the midst of things. And I guess, does anybody have anything to add that I might have missed in that summary? Or is that pretty good?
Now that hits all the important ones, I think.
All right. Well,
The king had a very nice bathroom.
yes, the king did have a very nice bathroom. And also, Shadow is in possession of the scepter at this point, which was another point that you guys were trying to figure out something with the scepter for a bit of time there, too. All right. So I did stop the round on Shadow's action. So I guess we'll start with that. in your heads, each of you hears Shadow's voice. He's speaking through the ring. And he says, "By now, I'm sure you have many questions. I will see you again. I will answer those questions at that time. For when your back is up against the wall, you go through it." And with that, Yarvik, make a attack of opportunity as Shadow moves away from you. Okay, that's going to be a miss.
Dagnabbit.
He steps forward 5 feet, and then as he continues down the hall, he fades from view until he's invisible and gone. Marius rushes around the corner to chase after the king and try and catch him, and finds that the passage is empty aside from Yarvik. Bane, I don't know why you just see darkness.
I'll refresh.
Yeah, try refreshing.
We might be in the darkness thing.
Oh, there we go. I had to refresh.
Yeah, there wasn't any more. Oh wait, I grabbed William, didn't I? I did. There we go. All right. So at that point, with nothing left to combat, I think I'm gonna break round at this moment.
Hold up. We've got at least one person left to kill.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We've got William left, who goes when the guards do. So it's Belzian's turn. That's fair.
Oh, do you want me to beat up William? Will I am? Well, if he has a tombstone, it better say "Will I was." I don't. Hold on, my mouse is still broken. The door is open, right?
Yes.
Broken. Oh, I can totally get there. Nice. Here, I'll give this guy some hands, just 'cause if he looks like he's still fighting. I may not give him hands. Does a 15 hit?
Let's see. $15 does hit, yes. No, it does not. Sorry.
Less excellent. It's okay. I can use my bonus action to also do an unarmed attack. At 12 probably doesn't hit.
No, it does not.
That's all Belzian's doing for now.
Okay.
He's very concerned about this scepter and where it may have gone.
Roger.
I think we're stabbing this guy. I
Okay.
think. if if Shadow's gone out of sight, then Roger probably won't be able to catch up with someone who's invisible. Is a 24 hit?
It does not. Yes, it does.
Cool.
Working on-
He takes 20 damage.
William dies. He was already injured from the shatter. All right. Anything
Ulrich,
else, Roger?
you've got a lot of explaining to do.
Like hell, I've got a lot of explaining to do. I said one thing. He broke away from my spell, ran away, and I tried to get him back.
I vouched for you.
And I've done everything I possibly can. Put yourself in my shoes, Roger. Imagine if my king, the man I served, had won. Alright?
My family would be dead.
Yeah, I understand that. War is hell. Don't put that shit on me. But you listen. Imagine if our king, the man who is and should be king, and who I hope is alive in there, have any of you gone to fucking check? Imagine if he was running around all of a sudden wearing different faces and turning in. He was alive when he was supposed to be dead. How would you have reacted, Roger? You'd be a little shocked, wouldn't you? Mix you up. Let's go find out if our king is alive.
Ulrich is furious about this whole moment of his life. He served admirably and was a real believer in Gerard. Thought he died. I mean, he had every indication that he was dead, and now the idea that he could be alive and could be running around and being this bandit is very confusing and very upsetting.
Yeah.
And he's
Wait.
lost his cool over it.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, by the way, great job killing the one guy we could have talked to see what the fuck was going on.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine. Oh, no, he looks pretty dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Sorry. The pointy weapons don't do such a great job of bringing people alive. But that's not
why
my
you
job.
got the hilt.
So which king are we looking for now?
I believe Ulrich is referring to King Gareth.
Yes, our king.
It's possible that Gareth could have been dead since the end of the war.
Or he's still alive in his room.
Yeah. I had to say,
Hey, yo, Jordan, you see any kings around here?
No. Guys, I don't really care about whatever we got to do, but I'm sticking next to Ulrich in case he tries anything else. Says a small Zippo.
yeah, I just want to be on the record here, Zippo. I ain't done shit, and you ain't got the right. You hate everyone you fucking run into. Imagine if this Brunhilde. That's how much you meant to me. Brunhilde go away for a long time.
Ulrich, I'm gonna cut you off right now. I'm still a little angry. Why don't you save it until next session?
Yeah, all right.
Save it for when I'm calmed down.
I got a feeling it's gonna be popping up again anyway.
I can assure you there was no king in the bathroom. No royal flush. We have this room on the left and this room on the right.
Marius, is there any hidden entrances could have gotten through?
I guess as Marius come back.
Yeah, well, Yeah, Marius rushes back. Where did Marius's figure go?
Where did Marius go?
Oh, there he is. Marius comes back into the room and he's checking on his two guards that are unconscious, and he relieves the guard of his weapon that's surrendered. Now that the king has revealed himself to be Gerard, the soldier is kind of apologizing profusely, and Marius seems to have been taking charge of him and tells him to stand by the door and don't move until he tells him to. At that point, Marius looks around and he says, "Well, I know there are some passages in here, but I only know of one of them. One that's an emergency escape, and then the other is a private room that the king possesses. That I'm not privy to the information about. I can show you where the escape room is, if you'd like."
Yeah, we gotta find him. I mean, Jarvik, you might be right. Maybe Gerard, Shadow, whoever the hell he is, maybe he's masquerading as king for who knows how long, but why show his hand like that?
It brings a lot of things into question, doesn't it?
I
Yarvik is still for Yarvik's sake. He's still trying to figure things out. So he's not hostile to Olga right now because he was busy tearing off after the king. So he was busy tearing off Shadow. So he's still processing all this.
Marius says, I have to say with confidence that the king could not have been Gerard this whole time. For if the king and Shadow, if Gerard and Shadow are the same, as you said, he was elsewhere days ago, and well, the king has been here and not far from my sight for quite some time. And he heads over to this wall where there's the three swords hanging through ornate shield, and he pushes in on the point of the shield that's in the front and turns it to the right 3 times, and a door slides open behind the bookshelf, kind of opens up, and it reveals a staircase going downward.
An escape down into the mountain?
It leads to other areas of the castle. There's 2 such locations that it can go to. One goes to the treasury where we conceal the king in the vault, or 2, there's an escape route out of the city.
Great. So the king could be anywhere.
Yeah, but why would he let him live? His whole gamut was to steal the scepter, steal the throne. Why let him escape?
But where's the body?
I don't know.
I mean, he hasn't had any time at all, really. Even if you assume that that William was working with him the whole time, he's had at most an hour and a half.
Marius, after inspecting the room for a person or any signs of a person, he goes across, rushes over, and opens the door to the other side.
Was there no chance for brotherly reconciliation?
Well, unlikely.
I mean, they did have that big war.
Yeah, even before forth, and you weren't exactly each other's favorites.
Look, all brothers fight. They just don't always usually kill tens of thousands in the process.
Most brothers don't have an army to fight with.
All right. So while you've inspected, Belzian's carefully inspected the bathroom. You know the main chamber was the living quarters and the bedroom. You've seen the study. You are now entering the wardrobe, which is literally a room filled with wardrobes and ornaments for the king to wear. There's this. You can see this is where the king probably had his groom come and trim him up. You can actually see hair still on the rug and on the chair here. There's a robe discarded here, as well as a broom next to the robe. Seemingly would have been to maybe sweep up some of the excess hair.
Well, that's weird. Wow. If he snuck in, here's the barber. Why would he give... I mean, I guess he could have gotten close in for a close shave.
If I were going to hide a body, one of these wardrobes would be a good place to do it.
Yeah.
While he says that, Yarvik is very interested in a particular wardrobe that looks a little bit different over here on the north side of the room.
Is that metagaming? Is that metagaming I hear?
So, yeah.
It's different on the map. It looks different to us in character.
Yep.
And the top of it is
I remember this lesson from the forest. When it looks different, it probably is.
I will
So,
give you that you know that there is a secret passage somewhere in this room, so you're looking for anything out of the ordinary. That's fair.
Yeah, given what we just went through, we already know there's one secret passage. So, I would like to. What is that? That's an investigation. Is that what it? Is that check?
Yeah, give me an investigation.
And I want to use inspiration on that. So does that mean I get to use it to do 2 rolls?
Roll first and see if you need it. You don't need it.
Okay.
Well, at least, I mean, you can. Do you want to use it still and try and get better than an 18?
No, I'm comfortable with it.
Okay,
18.
all right. That wardrobe in particular does appear to look a little bit more used than some of the other wardrobes. You give it a push, and it does seem to have a little bit of give to it. You open the cabinet and try and feel behind the cabinet, like to see it, or the wardrobe, to see if there's like a false back or anything like that. And while you still feel the give, it doesn't seem to open just by pushing it. But you're pretty sure that this is the secret passage.
Just gonna,
Also, I'll give you from your investigation that you see freshly cut hair trailing along the ground across the room and to the wardrobe.
what color is that here?
Grayish red.
Grayish red.
That doesn't
Alright.
actually narrow it down between the two brothers, but
Yeah, really, exactly. All right, Marius. How do we open this thing up?
I don't know.
Yarvik's gonna try to pry at it with his sword. He's gonna try to open it up.
Yarvik, I have crowbars.
Oh, the right tool for the right job. You're absolutely correct.
Go on, crowbars.
You can try and kick these in with your feet. Or we can use a tool specifically designed to pry a door open.
Can I punch and kick all the wardrobes?
Marius, you're asking Marius this, I assume?
I'm asking you.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. There's consequences to the actions, but you can do whatever you want.
All right, I like karate chop the wardrobe.
Which one?
I'll start with this one, the bottom. Work my way up.
Okay.
Just, big slap.
Um.
That's investigating with your feet.
Yeah. Give me an attack roll.
I hope this wardrobe doesn't have too much AC. Uh, 27.
Yeah, that's a hit. Do damage.
7.
You break up, cave in one of the doors of the wardrobe, and Marius rushes over quickly and says, "Now, there's no need to do that. They've already deduced that the wardrobe over here is the correct. Stop what you're doing."
Your Majesty, are you in there?
Uh,
I don't think he's in here.
there are a number of fine clothes in this wardrobe, but no king. Get away from the wardrobe, and he kind of like is shooing you away.
Sorry.
Lord Gareth, are you on the other side of the wardrobe? Hello? Roger, I assume you're going at the wardrobe with the crowbar?
Yep.
All right, go ahead. In fact, I will allow the crowbar to be used as part of your thieves' tools if you want to use a check with the thieves' tools.
Already. So that'd just be straight dexterity.
Plus proficiency.
Plus proficiency.
Yeah. That's what that gets you, the proficiency bonus, yeah.
I'm not sure how to add the proficiency in Beyond 20, so I'm just 3 plus whatever I get here.
Okay.
12.
You shove the crowbar into a gap. You pry at it. It bends, but it doesn't give.
Maybe somebody with a little more muscle can give this a shot.
Hey,
I'm
I'm on it.
I'm standing right here.
Oracle, give it a hand.
Okay, so you're assisting Yarvik. So Yarvik, you'll roll with advantage.
So, and that is just rolling.
Double roll, yeah.
Double roll. All right.
And
That's just straight strength check, right?
Yes. Well, that advantage definitely helped. You rather than making the wardrobe give in a way where you basically break open the mechanism that controls the back of the wardrobe. You've deduced that the wardrobe doesn't move like the bookcase would. Instead, it's like got a false back that opens up like a door. You basically break open the latch to the door, so that'll need to be repaired in the future. And you open that door.
All right, Marius. You need to go first, because I think all of us trust you.
And he can pretty much see from here, and he rushes in through the door. My lord, no. As he starts sobbing over a dead King Gareth.
Son of a bitch.
Well, I never met his mother, but you might be right.
I mean, a little decorum, right?
Can everybody see? Yeah, you can see.
Everything okay in there? Is the king taking a nap? I thought he had a big bed.
No, he's dead.
Marius kind of gets a hold of himself a bit, and there's a tinge of fury in his voice, and he says, "Do you know where he went?"
No, Marius, but we're gonna be finding out.
Do you know where he went? He's like shaking at this point.
Marius, come away from the body.
Marius looks like if you try and move him from the body, he will hurt you.
Marius, we're gonna do what we can. We're gonna find him. We're gonna bring justice to this matter, but we don't have any immediate leads, alright? We gotta figure out what comes next. Who's next in line? I've lost track of those things.
He stops for a moment and he tries to like draw some deep breaths. And he says, "Well, if that was Gerard, and this was still during war times, he would be king."
But it's the war is over.
Which means that the next official king would have to be ruled by a court. Gerard would have to stand trial in order to gain the crown. The coward. He knew that. That's why he ran. I declare martial law till a king is in place. I will rule this city until a king is appointed.
You have that power?
I am the king's captain. I am general of all military. There is no one higher than me in position to rule at this moment. Not without the noble courts. That will take weeks.
My memory is that we only hear each other with the rings, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I think Ulrich would just think to the others.
I don't like the sound. I mean, Marius is a good man, but look, I know I was a little wobbly there for a second, but let's face it, it was his folly that led to this death.
This conversation entirely within the rings here. Gareth's folly or Marius's folly?
Marius's folly.
Yeah,
Do you think there's any chance that Marius actually killed the king?
Nah.
No, not likely. Ordered it done? Maybe.
I've seen some good acting in my time, and Marius isn't acting.
Any sons of truth left, Ulrich?
In any case, he's still making a play for the stewardship of the crown.
I think we're gonna have to let it be, but
Between him and Gerard, I'll take Marius. have some people I need to talk to this evening.
But we could probably subdue Marius and throw him in the dungeon if you think he's going to be a problem.
I think that borders on to us being part of the coup.
And even then, who rules? If Marius doesn't, who rules? Better the devil you know.
Quite frankly, Marius is the only one left that knows what happened here aside from us. I'd rather have the ruler in a position that they know what happened, as opposed to someone who doesn't, that throws us in jail.
Very good point.
Yeah. I'm hate to say this, but I'm with Oak on this one. I still don't trust him, but he may be our best option.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything we do about it, but we got to keep an eye on that. Not that we're gonna be able to take on a whole damn army, but
Let's get this guy to deputize us or call us high inquisitors, whatever you want, and see if he can get us to lead the investigation so at least we can go find the guy. And that way we can leverage this. We can leverage the kingdom's resources to our advantage and at least not get jacked up by the guards on the way out.
And from what Marius is saying to you, it seems like that's exactly what he wants you to do. He wants you to get Gerard. And I'm sure at this point that's pretty much on everybody's mind at the moment, perhaps. So
Yeah. All right. Marius. Roger will bend down on one knee. You have my service, Regent.
Yeah, Ulrich follows suit.
Yeah, Belzian's never done it before, but he tries his best to mimic what those two are doing.
Yeah, what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
Jordan flourishes a flashy bow, and Zippo kind of looks at everybody and is like, I'm already down to the height you guys are at already. Do I have to? I think you guys get the point, right? Is everybody just looking at Zippo?
I'm waiting for Zippo to break out the action figures again.
Jordan's like, Zippo, come on. And Zippo just rolls his eyes and like just kind of bows like he did before to the king. A very nonchalant dip.
all right. Well, Arius, will you do this in the midst of the celebrations, or will you wait till the celebrations are over?
I don't think that a celebration can continue without the king. No, the kingdom's already on high alert. There will... don't have fucking time for this. And he looks around at you all and he says, I'm going to put the city on lockdown. No one will be able to leave without my say-so. If Gerard is still in the city, we'll find him. But if he's already escaped, which I have every confidence that he could have, I'll need you to track him down. I must create order in this chaos. And he's like, as he's thinking about things more and more, and as you've reminded him about the celebration, which had been the last thing on his mind, he's realizing more and more the amount of effort it's going to take to turn this battleship of an issue around. Like, just think
Wait,
about it. The celebration
this
is now going to be
well engineered chaos.
yeah. There's already been chaos in the city. That's what caused Marius to be delayed. There's a parade going on right now that's going to have to turn into a wake, a funeral, perhaps even. There's all kinds of. At least everyone's gathered, so like the nobles are here. The families are mostly here for the most part, so that'll be able to start a an heir process down. Gareth did not have a son. He had a wife. So it's going to go back to the noble families, and there'll probably be some sort of court-appointed king, a new family that'll take rule. And in the meantime, he will be the steward, as you said. And I'm spelling this out basically, Ulrich, because you know what the process would be like. There was always a danger that the three princes might die during the war, and some of the families probably even hoped that might be the case, just so that the war ended, and somebody maybe less foolhardy might take the crown. But that might not have been your family, but that was definitely a known thought pattern at one time or another.
Just for me, the player's edification here. Does Ulrich know the queen, and would he have any reason to maybe think that she might be a better suited replacement at this time, rather than having Marius come in and be like, martial law, maybe she should be directing him.
You are not familiar with the queen. Gareth wed her a year after the war ended.
Okay.
No, the year after. I wouldn't say a year. Like it wasn't that convenient. But within the year after everything settled down. You know that the normal order of things is that there's a regent. The queen may take a hand in assisting the regent, but it's the male heir that usually rules. It's a traditional patriarchy, if you will.
Cool.
Does the king have a scepter of any sort?
There is no scepter to be seen with the king. He looks fairly normal. He's not dressed in ornate clothes. It's kind of just like bum around the house clothes at this point. He hadn't. His face and hair look neat and clean and tidy. But he looks like just some average guy. His throat is slit.
At least he was able to get that haircut in.
Gerard probably did the haircut to get a prettier copy of him for impersonating.
Are you saying this out loud?
If if Belzian said that out loud, then yes.
Yes. Just musings.
We're going to have to arrest the groom, make sure that he's not part of this, if he's even alive.
Yeah, I would bet on him being alive.
What do we know about this groomer? Like, does he operate a barber shop in town, or does he have other clients?
He lives in the castle. Do not worry about the investigation here. I will take care of finding what happened here, and trust me, they will be brought to justice. Your task now is to get Gerard and bring him to me, or kill him if you cannot.
Well, that lines up with what I was trying to do already.
Now, tell me what you know about this incident.
Well, let's see. A bunch of insurrectionists were part of your guard. We tried to pinpoint them a little bit. I think I tried to warn you a little bit that that might be the case. We started investigating, found out that one of the acrobats wandered off somewhere. I was talking with William, who ended up actually being not a faithful servant to the king, but actually a servant to Gerard. Gerard had taken form of the king, was able to kind of wiggle his way through my zone of truth by speaking half-truth, let's say. And, well, then you came in. I think that about sums it up. I already gave you our dossiers and all the information we possibly could. Although, in full disclosure, Marius, because I was quite certain that there were insurrectionists in your ranks, and much as I trust you, you know,
If your words are going to be next spoken, I told you so.
No, my words were going to be an admission of a lie that I did tell you. I would never rub that in your face 3 times. No, I would have told you now that that I did say we had a couple of other companions with us, which was an absolute falsehood, because if you were working for the wrong side, I just need to have you a little off balance.
He doesn't seem to care.
All right.
The look on his face is there are more important things than this right now.
Well, I think that about some say. Roger, I missed anything?
Nothing important.
All right.
I think most of the details that you want, Marius, we were able to give to you beforehand.
Yep.
Little good as that did us.
Yep.
Do you have any clues as to what Gerard wants or where he's going?
Well, there's all that nonsense with the scepter I was talking to you about.
Something to do with the wall.
Yeah, so my guess is start heading eastward.
Well, that's exciting. Maybe he plans on opening the wall. And from what I understand, there might be dragons over there.
If he's really planning on opening the wall, he's more of a
Since it
monster.
off.
I hear there's an awful lot of wall out there. How do we know which part he's going to? You spent time with him and served with him. What can you tell us about his habits, where he might go, what he might do?
I would ask if that might be a history check, DM.
Yeah, give me a history check.
And I'm also going to add something probably on top of that, a player take, but
Yeah.
that's a 9.
All right, give me your player take first.
Well, look, here's the thing. The man I served with, the man I thought should be king, he was nothing like this. He was upstanding. He wouldn't have backstabbed his brother like this. Alright, he wouldn't have just slit his throat. So, I'm not sure I knew him as well as I thought I did.
Yeah, from what you remember, you don't remember him thinking much of the wall. He was more concerned with his kingdom.
Yeah.
If I ask my family, I can probably find some places where we used to sacrifice people to the wall. That was before any of your times.
Oh, that's
Wait.
fun.
Sacrifices.
Yeah, well,
Like people?
they stopped doing it over 100 years ago, but I remember those as a kid.
Yeah, wall executions. Yeah, the kingdom used to execute people by pushing them into the wall.
Yeah.
No chance of people being reincarnated and things like that.
I will say, this is really based on nothing other than, I don't know, gut feeling. The wall meets in a point. I always thought that was weird. Right? It has a corner.
Most walls have corners.
Well, I
There's
mean,
at least 4 in this room.
That's the thing. You see, you say most walls, but we refer to it as the wall.
And, well, it should be like most walls, right? Or the other way around, really. Most walls should be like
But it takes 2 walls to make a corner, is what I'm saying. Right? But
Stop
we
saying
refer to it as a
something so
wall.
obtuse.
Well, maybe if you go through the corner, then there'll be we're just one of 4 quadrants.
Now you're just angling here.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be
very
right.
obtuse.
It's good to laugh in this time of tragedy. Thank you, Jordan. Sorry,
Maybe we should call it the walls instead of the walls.
But before we leave the city, I would like to speak with my primary employer, though.
Marius says, I am your primary employer now. I will see you have ample mounts and fast rides. You'll have the fastest horses. Go and do what must be done. But go quickly.
Allow me to clarify my previous statement. Before we leave the city, I need to go speak to my previous primary employer.
And they are...
Flames, sir.
Perhaps we can set up a meeting. I'll need to talk to them myself.
Confident I can reach them faster.
So be it.
Anything you'd like to pass along?
I'd like to fill them in on what happened personally.
I'll say as much.
He looks around at each of you meaningfully and says, none of you will speak of this to anyone. The more people that know what happened here today, the less we'll be able to control this kingdom until order is reigned. We must control this message, or it will swallow us all whole. You remember the Civil War? And he looks at each of you meaningfully, and he says, if all 17 families are fighting for the throne, it will be chaos. We must control this message.
Wait, with all due respect, Temporary Majesty, don't the people deserve to know?
I will tell them, and I will give them the message that they need to hear. And we will have an order to things. But just wantonly telling everyone the king is dead, it won't spell good.
I see. Yes, that might be a little bit chaotic. I get you.
You asking me to not be forthright with His Majesty's intelligence service?
If they're of any quality intelligence, then they already know.
I would submit His Majesty's Intelligence Service ain't worth a damn considering what we just went through. They missed this entire plot. Hell, they may be in on it.
Jarvik, we're not here to say I told you so.
Wow. They're not to be trusted, then. Just another list for me.
Oh, no, who do we trust?
Everyone in this room, and
Less one, too.
If Ulrich hadn't worked to convince me that the king was false to begin with, I wouldn't even trust the 6 of you. You would be in chains and in the dungeon right now. Hell, I probably would have thought you had done it.
I wonder if he would have even shown his hand.
Don't think that thought hadn't crossed my mind either. No, I owe you all a great debt, and I will someday repay it. But first, you must act for the kingdom, and I will provide what you need.
Everett's going to say to everybody with a ring in the room, this situation's going to get out of control quickly. We need to skin out and get on the road. This capital's going to go crazy.
It seems that there's some impending chaos. When do you figure we should head out on our continuing investigation?
As soon as humanoidly possible.
Oh, I was actually asking everybody else, not you. Sorry.
Oh, that was in the ring. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, in the rings, I'll take one of our spare rings and drop it off with my contact with the flames. That we should probably leave.
Do we want to give one of the rings to Marius?
How many do we have? 4? 4 extra?
So there were 12 rings total. You had 8.
We had 8 between the 6 of us. So we have 2 extra.
Yes.
So yeah, we could give 1 to Marius and 1 to the flames. That might be practical.
Yeah, Zippo, you okay with taking him off of Brunhilde's sculler? I think that's where they were last.
If that's the case, then he I guess Brunhilde is with them, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
She hasn't been talked about, so maybe she's at the inn.
This dog is just loose.
I think Roger had one and Zippo had the other. Or was somebody who's carrying the globe? Because that's who's carrying the rings too.
I'm carrying the globe, but
And
I didn't think
you
I
had
had
the
the
rings
rings
too.
for some reason. Okay.
I just thought it was in our general shared inventory.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have one of those, so just the shared consciousness.
Well, Roger's fast. He can run back and forth if need be.
Marius purposefully walks through royal chambers and back into the study. He begins writing something on a piece of paper. Anybody following him or just letting him do his thing?
Yeah, I'll watch and see what he does.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, what you doing over here?
He comes back and hands to Roger a letter with the royal symbol of Jane stamped on it. He says, "Give this to the royal tenders at the blacksmith at the king's stables, and they'll provide horses for you. If you already have some, fine, but these will be fast horses that will get you where you need to go."
Thank you, sir.
He looks at the weapon that you're holding. What is your weapon? Roger?
Currently I have my rapier drawn.
Okay. From one of the racks in the wardrobe, he draws a finely crafted rapier and gives it to Roger and says, "This is one of the Jane family rapiers. It was Garrus. Kill him with this."
Your wish is my command.
He goes up to Ulrich and he looks him up and down and he says, "Whether you were trying to convince Gerard to stay so that we could get him, or whether you were having a moment of weakness, your actions for the future will prove to me who you serve. I will have no doubt on your name should you come back with Gerard dead." And that will be the end of it. If Gerard yet lives, and I see you again, we will have words, you and I. Fair?
Don't really see how I have any say in the matter.
Well put. He just stands there and he starts shaking his head and he says, "My king." All right. So, what would you guys like to do from here?
I guess I have at least one ring to deliver, and possibly a second if we're giving the last one to Marius.
If Ulrich has possession of the two rings,
Sure, let's say we do.
just for simplicity's sake, Ulrich, are you going to give him one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Are you going to... You can do that in character if you want.
Yeah. He says,
There you go. To help you keep you better informed.
What's this?
This will let you chat with us mentally. Something that Shadow, Gerard, whoever the hell he is, he and his goons have been using. We found it.
They can't eavesdrop on your communications with it unless you want them to.
Yeah.
So, do I just speak at you through the ring and you'll hear me?
You probably need to wear it for a day or so first. But yes,
More or less, yeah.
we've got one more and I'm going to give it to the Flames.
And how do you know that they won't be able to hear me if others carry?
We've
Yes.
made sure that messages are, for example, if I were to think of make a message right now to Roger, Elzian and Zippo and Yarvik wouldn't hear it. Sorry.
What'd you say about my mom? So Zippo.
Wait, do you guys talk without the rest of us?
It's usually about how strapping you are to this day. Don't want to give it too big a head.
Belzian blushes for good measure.
You're looking swell and swole, though, Brody.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. I will message you if should I need to tell you anything. And you do the same. Report in, and I'll talk to you soon, I suppose.
Bye. Roger's going to book it out of there and go meet up with his handler.
Is the rest of the group coming as well, or are you trying to separate yourself from the group?
I'm going to ditch the rest of the group.
Are you going to tell them where you're going, or are you just going to be like, bye, and you run out?
You know what? The second one's funnier. We'll do that. I'll meet you guys outside of the city.
While he's doing that, we should probably go round up the horses and equipment.
Oh yeah, I'll leave the letter for the horses with.
I was waiting.
with
Okay,
Yarvik.
thank you. I was going to be like, I was going to let you leave and then let the rest of the group realize that you left with the letter.
Oh yeah, we'll make sure to get that to Yarvik.
Okay.
All right. Let's
I
get kitted
suppose we
out.
should clear up any last-minute business we have in town. Are we leaving immediately or in a day's rest?
The town will be,
Yeah.
the city will be locked down in an hour.
Oh,
Yeah. Before Roger runs off too far, can he stop you? Can Ulrich stop you, Roger? Because
Yeah,
he wants.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. We'll kind of walk and talk.
I'll put you guys in the hallway. Like Ulrich rushes off to catch you briefly.
In fact, we could even bring Ulrich with, but
If you'd like to, we could do it that way.
Well, I mean, I think this is just a group thing. I wanted to.
yeah.
But
Look, all right, we know we got the globe. We're going to be able to see, provided he doesn't ditch it, where he gets off to, but he did speak to me directly right at the end there, right before he disappeared.
Yeah.
He just called me a sellsword and said that I have to earn the right to call him my king. He also said goodbye and come quickly. So he's apparently expecting that I'm going to come his way. Look, I had a moment of confusion. But, frankly, whoever this man is, it's not the man I I served is scum. And if I can be bait, I'm gonna be bait.
Well, I vouched for you once. If I'm wrong a second time, I'm gonna kill you though.
What did I do other than say 5 words? Did I kill someone that was on our side?
You betrayed my trust.
Yeah, well.
Roger, can I get a history check from you?
I can roll.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Just to push Ulrich's point home a little bit, based off of the, and this may or may not affect your opinion of what happened, but you two have made a living for nearly a year at this point, pretending to be dissenters. Him playing bait and him pretending to be faithful to Gerard still are things that he has been doing with you for a while to draw out. So, whether you believe him at this point or not, I will give you that this isn't out of character from what you know and have experienced with Ulrich. Now, you know that this one rang a little bit more true than most, and he's openly admitted that. So that might be like water in a bucket, but I will give you that from your history together.
All right. I'll vouch for you.
I do appreciate that.
Time to go hand off the last ring of communication to the shadowy people who pull my puppet strings.
Sounds good.
I'll see you outside the city, old friend.
Yep.
And I'm off.
All right. So while Roger rushes off, what are the rest of you doing?
Get whatever the letter can get us as far as supplies. I don't know. We're we go to the barracks for that.
Ooh, we can get swag.
I mean, we kind of got the golden ticket from the Stewards, so let's take advantage of it.
As much glue as money can buy.
I think that's an amazing plan.
I'm pretty sure this also gets me some killer sausage.
So we're gonna do some last minute duties in the city before we, leave.
You didn't take care of that while you were in the king's bathroom?
Duty.
All right. So Marius kind of leaves with the rest of the group. He actually has moved the king from the secret passage over to the bed and laid him to rest there for the time being, and then he turns to go close the doors to the royal chambers and kind of hopelessly looks at the wreckage of the shattered double doors, shakes his head and says, "Yeah, this isn't going to be quiet for long." you kind of leave him as he ponders that.
Good luck, sir.
Glad we don't have your job.
All right, so the rest of the group, just to give you an idea of where the stables are for the royal palace, it's just to the north of the palace here, on the same level as the palace. Do you guys see where I'm pinging? So it's that backwards C-shaped building here. Yeah. So that's where you'll be able to get your
super steeds.
Your super steeds. The main stair is guarded. As you leave through the main palace, there seems to be a lot of milling about. People have actually been asked to take seats, and there's a heavier amount of guards. Since the castle is on high alert, they've gathered all the guests in one ballroom gathering area. So it's actually fairly empty in the area where everybody was interacting earlier. There's more guards in the areas that you saw checkpoints at. It seems like everything's pretty locked tight here. Do you interact with any of the guards as you leave?
Ulrich doesn't.
Belzian is resisting the urge to gossip about the dead king.
Yeah, Yarvik wants to like just show the letter to everybody, like check it out, like just walk past and just like just hold the letter up, like yeah, check it out. But he doesn't. He just wants to.
Yes, Roger's going to be trying to hide the shiny new rapier that belonged to the king previously.
Well, so fortunately for you, the only thing that will be visible is the pommel. The rest will be in the scabbard. It fits in your simple scabbard much easier than it would be to just take the royal scabbard that it was in. So all you have to do is kind of tuck it behind some cloth and you'll be good. All right. So you all exit the palace. Since Roger left a little bit before the rest of the group, I'm going to start with Roger, and then I'll go to the rest of the group. Is that fair?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, Roger. I will make my way to the meeting place. I don't remember which pub it was in. The Pointless.
Yeah, the Pointless pub. Yep, good memory.
It-
I was gonna have you
with
make
my-
a history check, but you didn't need to.
It's in my notes.
Yeah. So as you're heading down the stairs, down to the clouds, and then eventually the Gold District, you notice that the main staircase is still cordoned off. The parade looks like it had started, but has stopped. Give me a perception check, please.
20.
There are some floats that looked like they're being doused with water that were on fire, as well as several other areas of the city that are either actively on fire or are doused, but steam is rising from them.
Exciting.
What was that?
Exciting.
Yes.
Not a whole lot I can do about that. So we'll continue to the Pointless pub and just acknowledge the fire and try and stay out of the way of the people doing something about it.
Okay. As you get to the Gold District and turn north and look northward, you see that there is flames rising in the distance from that direction. The fire is blue, but the entire Pointless pub, as you get closer, is completely engulfed.
Anybody standing around outside?
No. The area seems to be vacant. There doesn't seem to be anybody trying to put out this fire.
Well, I'm not sure what to do with that one. Yeah, so we'll hold on to the ring then. I'm not going into the burning building. So I'll pass this along to the rest of the party. So, looks like I'll be meeting you sooner rather than later. Everything is on fire.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Well, yes, we know there's been a hot situation. No need to hurry, right?
So, a sudden thought occurs to you, Roger. You know that the shades and the flames have been kind of at ends with each other and battling it out. If the shades of retribution have struck, wouldn't it be poetic for them to have struck using flames?
Yeah. Also, Brad. Oh, I'll turn around and run back towards the stables.
Okay. The rest of the group arrives at the stables. There are a few guards there, but mainly it's fairly uninhabited except for the stable hands and people caring for the horses and such. Who's taken lead here? I guess Yarvik has the letter, right?
So Yarvik, being his typical not subtle self, rolls right up to the first guard he sees on duty. We need your best horses and any other equipment that we desire. And flips out the letter and just holds it up because he's short. He holds it up.
And your
Just like in his
finest
face.
dog too.
And a dog.
Well, we don't have any dogs here, but we do have horses.
Do you have any dog-sized horses?
Nay.
No, I'm done.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. He inspects the letter briefly. The royal seal is enough. He frowns that it's signed by Marius, but other than that, he doesn't really give any issue to it. Sorry. And from there, he gives you 5 mounts, because Zippo doesn't need one, and basically doesn't refuses the horse that is offered to him. He'd rather ride Broomhild. So the steeds are all red-haired. They're some are dappled with white. Some have a white patch on the forehead, or they're plainly red. It seems to be the breed that was of choice of the Jane family. They seem to be of well stock, good sturdy horses. They come with barding if you'd like, or you can exchange the barding that you already have. That is with your mounts that are at Majestic Apples. Basically, this is a free pass for whatever animal husbandry type items you'd like to take from this.
Yeah, I guess I would say we do have 2 draft horses.
You do.
I don't know what to do with them.
Should we bring them with, or donate them to a farmer or something?
Yeah, we take the horse and the carts that we have, and then any horses that we're not riding, we just we lash these extra horses to the back of the cart, and we get on our merry way. We can use them we can use them as trade for later.
I was thinking we could just get, I don't know, 3 horses.
These horses are faster and newer than the old horses.
Ulrich playing to his alignment is like, oh, we don't need that many horses. We only need 3 because we already have 2, right?
Yeah. And a wagon.
Yarvik is not looking this gift horse in the mouth.
I
Does
guess
this
worst
letter
case
also?
scenario-
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Does the letter also get us some something from the armory?
No, just the horses, just safe, just quick travel.
No swag. Well, that's okay. I'm sure Marius is helping us the best he can.
Marius ain't even been king for an hour, and he's already steward for an hour, and he's already cheaping out on us.
Classic kings, am I right?
I'm sure the finer details were the farthest thing from his mind right now.
Okay, are we going to take extra horses and then have a couple extra horses? Or will we take just the right amount of horses?
I guess we could lead the extra horses behind us.
Or like barter them? Or eventually barter them, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about money so much, but I guess it don't hurt to have a couple extra horses. Let's get 5.
If we ever get really hungry, we could eat some of the horses.
Well, let's hope it don't come to that. I don't really like horse jerky.
It's no duck sausage.
Horse sausage, on the other hand, very good. Probably a little lean, but I think it'd be okay.
Did one of the horses have a lame foot or something? Why was it lean?
Oh dear.
All right. So while you're debating how many mounts to take, why don't we take a 10-minute break?
Okay.
So we'll meet back here at 9:03 in 10 minutes.
I
And in the meantime, don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. All right. So have we decided the amount of horses, the equestrian? Are you going to be equestrian or equestranauts?
Equestranauts.
As in not, or yeah, you get it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we just get 5 horses.
5 horses?
You never have too many horses, can you?
By the way, out of character, basically most of the horses look like Epona.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
And they're all redheads, so they're kind
Yeah,
of
Epona's red.
That's it. We gotta find Lon Lon. We gotta get some milk.
milk.
All right.
We name all of our horses Eponia.
You have spent half the time allotted to you to leave the city at this point. It's about half hour left.
I mean, I feel like we just make our way out.
Don't you want to get your family's axe out of the inn?
Oh, Jesus, right, yeah. For some reason, I thought that was just folded in here. But yes, obviously, get my equipment.
Yarvik's gonna hop up on one of his newly minted mounts, and he's gonna yell out, "Regulators, let's ride!" And absolutely no one is gonna understand that, but Yarvik is going to be very pleased with himself.
Seems like a regular reaction. Yarvik, you were hoping to get some swag from the armory or something with our letter of benefit. I'm sorry that it didn't work out that way.
You know, the old bow's getting a little long in the tooth, but I guess it's just gonna have to do.
Well, I've got something for you. You may recall that you answered my wanted poster to find a missing book. In your insatiable desire for duck sausage, we did find the book, or at least a page of it, and I don't think we'll be getting any late fees repaid from this Lumen Banefellow guy. But I would like to thank you for all of your assistance. Belzian gives you a letter with the insignia of Belzian on it. This letter does not have as much weight as the one from the king, but I hope it will help.
I appreciate it. It's been quite the adventure. And then Yarvik takes the letter and tucks it in his pink hat.
And please take this as well. I acquired some kind of polka dot dagger from Carl's. Belzian gifts it to Yarvik.
A polka dotted dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's red and orange polka dots, fully through. It shimmers mysteriously.
So you say it's a yellow and orange polka dotted dagger that shimmers mysteriously.
Yes.
Check
For
out
now,
all its mystery.
Just add it as a dagger. If you get it identified at some point, I can tell you what it is.
I think this matches my hat. I thank you as well for being on this grand adventure. We're gonna find that book yet.
Oh,
Well, the
thank
rest of
you. Let's go find that king killer.
All right. So you get you go to the tavern. The tavern is its normal self, although it seems to be a little bit emptier than normal. Probably people who had gone to the festivities and whatnot. You get your possessions from your rooms. I assume check out with the tavern owner and gather your horses and wagon. And then I assume you're going to be making your way to the entrance of the city.
That all sounds right.
Anybody stopping anywhere else on the way?
No plans.
I mean, I guess I'm going to get the rest of my stuff out of the inn also. Because right now I'm still wearing my fancy clothes.
Okay, are you gonna change?
Now I'll leave this on.
Okay.
Don't
Ulrich,
have
are you
time to
changing
change.
at all?
Yeah, I think Ulrich would put his armor on.
Okay.
I mean, well, he'll do it outside the wall because we were limited in time. It takes like 10 minutes to put armor on.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you all gather your resources. Are you gonna lead the horses or ride the horses down?
Uh, Ulrich will drive the wagon
Mm-hmm.
because someone's gotta.
Right. And I guess you'll tie your horses to the side of it so they'll walk alongside or behind or something.
That makes reasonable sense. Were these war horses, by the way?
They are. You
Okay.
got 5 war horses.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. A substantial amount of money was spent this day. War horses are a pretty penny, from what I recall.
What would you valuate them at?
You'll have
GP-wise.
to ask somebody when you're not in a hurry.
Over
Okay.
100 each, if I remember correctly.
It's over 9,000. Okay.
We have 7 of them.
I guess the question I'm getting at is how well you have 5 war horses and 2 draft horses at this point. So you have a small herd plus a dog and a kobold.
What a good dog it is.
Zippo is in the back of the cart with Broomhild laying down, and he's he's set up like water cubes, and he's using his water elemental figurine to smash the cubes as if it was a water elemental smashing through a city.
Yeah.
You hurriedly navigate your way through the city. Are you actively trying to avoid areas where the fires are being put out? Or is there any specific way you're navigating through the city? Or are you just kind of beelining it as best you can?
Yeah, I would say we just ride to the X, get the axe, and then get out of Dodge.
Well, I am sure most of us would like to help as many people as possible. Time is of the essence.
All right. So if you're going the quickest possible route, you'll probably be taking this stairway down, correct?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Roger, you basically met the group at the Majestic Apples, by the way. Just so that you're all on the same page. You notice that there is, as you're heading down, smoke rising from Breakwater and the barracks. There are other residential buildings that are have fires lit on them as well. That seems to have spread to a few of the neighboring buildings since they're in such close proximity to each other. But for the most part, it seems to be under control. Most of the loaves seem to be untouched. It's mainly in the upper areas. For whatever reason. So as you get lower down, there's more people, but less quote-unquote chaos. The parade stopped at the Copper District, and you can see that there's a lot of commotion there as people are kind of rushing to see what's going on and what's happening. And there's a lot of people coming to the guards to let them know about issues that are happening or whatnot. There seems to be a lot of people working together or taking advantage of the situation. There's a few people that you can see that are looting several shops as well as you pass. You quickly make your way down, passing the Dead Duck and out the main gate with about, I'd say, 5 minutes to spare. So the gates don't close behind you, but if you had lingered, you might have been stuck in the city. Or had to talk your way out of it.
We probably could have gone back to the king's room and escaped out of one of those secret passages.
Fair enough.
Maybe not, though. Perhaps this is for the best.
Probably not with the horses.
I'm sure they'd fit in there. It was a big room.
That would at least explain the door.
All right, so you exit the city. You are faced with a plain. I'll bring us back to the main map.
Man, we were in that city for a long time.
Yeah, you've been there since what, November?
Yeah.
I mean, you were in Jewel for like 6 months, so. I think from
I'm
session
pleased you're
2
having
to
fun.
session 13, you were in Jewel.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence of like a carnival or a zoo or whatever was outside of the city walls before?
The circus is to the north of the main gate.
Fellows, do you think we should check that globe? Check on the location of any people wearing rings?
Yeah, well, the problem is it doesn't really narrow down very well, does it? It's kind of a broad view.
The one moving away from Jane is probably Gerard.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that. I mean, yeah, I'll look at it right now. I'm sorry. Let's bring it out.
Okay. You push the button, the globe spins to life, and dots begin lighting up and forming lines of the city or not the city, the coast and the rivers, and specific dots where the rings are located in. One still pops up in Rilladrin. One still pops up in Learden. One still pops up in Istobel. There is one bright light on top of where you would think Jane was on the map, since there's no mountains dictated on the map, but you can kind of guess that it was. And then the dot is fairly lopsided. As in, like, it's almost like a dash instead of a dot. Like if you took a snowman on its side and it just had a head and a body, that's what it looks like.
There are like 8 of us here with rings.
Yeah.
There's six of us, Marius. Gerard, or the person impersonating him.
The bigger dot is to the left. The smaller dot is to the right, due east of you.
Well, looks like we're heading east.
Where do you think he's headed? North, over the forest, or south below it, back past New Pond? Or should we wait and see which way it goes?
Look, I mean, we can ride slow and try and see which way it goes and pick up pace. That does seem like a good idea. If you were asking me this about 6 years ago, I'd say he'd go to the forest. Just 'cause if this is Gerard, he cared about people. And whatever was going on there, it was clearly some sort of society, and, you know, he might be checking up on that. Especially after we, pretty flat out told him we set it ablaze.
Yeah, that's right. Anything that you told the king was actually you telling Gerard. So.
And maybe he cared about your people. But, that's a good a read as any. We can.
Yeah. Same way that Gareth cared about your people.
What do you mean, you people or your people? Aren't we all people?
Yep, and that's why it's Unity Day, so let's be united.
Happy Unity Day, guys.
Happy Unity Day indeed.
So, do you slowly ride in a direction, like at a normal pace?
Yeah, I would say we set a pace that is pacing what we're looking at, trying to see which way they're going. And New Pod's also directly between us and the apex of the wall, so I might be knocking out two birds with one stone.
Yeah. I think if Ulrich's gut that he'd be heading for the corner is accurate, or Ulrich's gut that he'd be heading back to the bandit camp in the forest above New Pond is accurate, then both of those are basically a straight line from Jane. So that seems a good place to head as any. Our map shows a set of ruins near the directions.
You guys ever noticed that almost every place we leave is on fire when we leave it?
Hey, it wasn't our fault this time.
Or was it? Dun dun dun.
No, Zippo was in our sights almost the whole time.
Zippo didn't cause the last fire, from what I recall.
And I was in our sights for almost the whole time too.
All right. So, I would say it's probably about 2:00 now. So I guess the question is, what pace are you riding at? Are you riding at slow, medium, or fast? Slow, normal, or fast? And how long do you want to ride for today?
This is some Oregon Trail shit.
I think we want to take a slow pace until we can get a bead on
Yep.
where the other dot might be going.
Okay. At a
There's a
slow
chance,
pace, you'd be able to use stealth as well, as a heads up.
With our army of seven horses and a
with
carriage.
7 horses and a wagon.
In the middle of a plain, yeah, you could still use
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
I
stealth.
like
You'd be
that
rolling at
option.
a disadvantage for sure, but I mean, if you wanted to be
Oh, yeah,
stealthy,
they have horse
you're-
armor on, don't they? 'Cause you said we had birding.
yeah. If you wanted horse armor on these horses, you can have horse armor for sure.
Yeah, let's keep the horse armor on.
Yeah,
Whatever
our
you can
steeds are
get, right?
magnificent.
Worst case scenario, we make it into scrap metal.
I
You
will
see
say
horse-
this: if you have horse armor on these guys, that they're fully outfitted, you basically look like a small contingent of the Royal Army, and you turned some heads as you went through town or through the city.
You know, I'm okay with that.
We are fancy AF, but I'm okay with that.
As you're riding east, you hear bells ring out in the city behind you that echo out through the plains. One bell starts ringing, presumably from the cathedral, and then lots of bells start ringing from throughout the city.
Ding dong.
Elsian wonders what time it is.
Well, it's half past.
It's like 300 o'clock.
It's half past sun.
7:30. Was that one of the ones that was missing?
No. Well, maybe. Was Saren missing off the list?
No. 1,
Then-
5, 6, 9, and 11 were missing. So
Yeah.
To the notes.
Lucky you. But lore jokes are the best jokes.
It's how you lure in the players.
Yes.
I thought you usually do that with a worm.
Like
Or is that the dragon's part we haven't gotten to?
Dune, dune, dune. As you, I guess, Ulrich, as you're driving the carts, you've kind of got the globe open in one hand. Is that the case?
Yeah, or it's like sitting in his lap or something.
Yeah, okay. So at your slow pace, you're able to observe the small dot fully break off from the large dot that is your group. You also see a small dot remain in Jane as well, that you leave behind. So now you look like Orion's belt almost. Because they do kind of look like stars, right? These dots, balls of light. The ball of light to the east breaks off from you and continues forward in a straight line. So it doesn't seem to be, checking the map that you have of Seregen, it doesn't seem to be following the road to your best approximation after that first curve here.
Huh? Looks like you were right. He's headed for the forest.
I don't know if I'm glad about that or worried.
You mentioned he was a nice guy before that cares about people. Maybe he still is in some strange, twisted way.
Yeah.
Nah, most people aren't completely monsters.
You think there
Yeah,
might be
except
good in
for
everybody?
Rusty. You remember him?
Oh,
Yeah, it was a red
God.
dick.
And I do motion like out this far, and I'm gonna say this: it's definitely not that far yet. It's like here, and the reason why I say that is because, the amount of distance per day that you can travel is generally a square, right? So I don't want to
Yeah.
get too far ahead of myself.
You're a
Um,
square.
So, you get about to the I in Jane, just below the I in Jane along the road, before it starts getting dark. And no, actually, I apologize. You're going at a slow pace. You're like halfway through the square. My bad.
We're stealthy.
So you're at the like just below the front edge of the A.
I just say Gerard's at like the I and the Jane.
No, Gerard's more like here at the bend, at just after the N.
He's running as fast as he can. No.
He is the Gerard dead man. That was a stretch, I know. Are you gonna continue riding through the night?
We get 7 horses. I think we gotta rest.
Okay.
Probably best.
All right, let's do watches then. Who's taking first watch?
Or again.
Very well take the second watch.
I'll take any watch available.
I guess Roger will be open up for the first and the last watch then.
Okay. Zippo takes third watch, and Jordan takes second watch with Yarvik. All right. So, okay. Ulrich and Roger, please make a perception check.
29.
Got you beat. Got that 10.
I can't actually roll that low.
I'm gonna go under par, baby.
All right. So as night falls, Sierra is almost full, while Rian is almost fully waned. So they're kind of like the opposite of each other, like they'd fit into each other's shadows, if that makes sense. You follow me there?
Yes.
You guys are busy writing.
Sorry.
It's fine. You always find that Rian is being chased by Sierra because one's a smaller moon that's on a faster cycle. So there's usually 2 moons in the sky at some point, but it's usually one or the other at one time. The planes are fairly quiet. The bells have been left behind. You can no longer hear any ringing out. You don't see any signs of movement, any glows of torches in the distance, any signs of Gerard. Ulrich, were you talking? You saying is everyone getting this?
It sounded okay to me, but sometimes Discord be Discord. Ulrich, are you okay?
Yeah, he's jumping off and then back on.
Ulrich, are you okay? Are you okay?
Actually,
Ulrich?
sorry. Now it seems to be working. Yeah, I didn't get any of what you were saying, DM.
Okay, I
He
basically
was
said
just
it's all
warning
clear.
us.
I was just giving
Oh,
a
okay.
description.
Cool.
All right. First watch comes and goes. It's time to relieve first watch, second watch, which is Jordan and Yarvik, right?
Correct.
All right. Go ahead and roll. Perception check, please. All right. Yeah, we've got some pretty good watching going on here. So meanwhile, Jordan is identifying the stones from Zippo's encounter with the water elemental. He actually goes through one of the stones and then a second one of the stones and then doesn't do the other four. He looks over at you, Yarvik, and says, Yarvik, would you want me to identify that dagger that...
Well, I was
Belsin?
just going to ask that. Yarvik just kind of hands of the dagger and see what happens.
So, Jordan casts Identify on it, and 10 minutes later he hands it back to you, and he says, this is a keen dagger, but the dagger, it's not a normal type of keen. I'm not sure how it's different, but I know that it is. So, in plain speak, a keen weapon means that the critical is lower to hit. So, like, usually a critical is you roll a 20 on a d20 roll for an attack. And with a 20, it's a critical attack. Keen makes that better. So, like, usually a 19 and a 20. So in this case, the keen feels different, but he knows it's a keen weapon.
Okay, so we can fill out the customization for it later.
Mhm.
I just put in a placeholder, yellow and orange polka dotted dagger, and then I have the dagger shimmers, and then I just added that it's keen. But we can figure out the damage numbers later.
It'll be the same damage numbers. Just when you roll an attack with it, let me know that you're rolling with the dagger, and I'll fill you in on the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, this one, while you know what it does, you don't know how it does it. So it'll be a little bit still mysterious, which is fun. All right. Yarvik and Jordan don't seem to... I was going to say Jaeger and I, but I changed it halfway through. So Yarvik and Jordan don't seem to see anything of note during their watch. It has started getting cloudy out. It's no longer as clear as it was when the night started. The stars quickly disappear out of view, and it becomes darker out. Because of this, that's probably why we have a lower perception check, because neither of us are naturally dark vision type people, so we're relying on the firelight to see around us. All right. At the end of second watch, Zippo, Belzian, and Roger relieve Jordan and Yarvik. All right. Go ahead and roll. Belzian and Roger. I'm going to leave Zippo off since we don't really need 3 people rolling for perception, I guess.
16.
12.
All right, fine. Don't twist my arm too much. Let's see what Zippo gets.
Well, it looks like we needed to beat a 16.
We are all generally perceptive. Go team. Zippo! Whoa! Screenshot that.
Zippo, you legend.
Fuck. Best player.
Zippo decides to spend the night playing I Spy with My Little Eye, and significantly trumps all of you, as you're unable to spot half as many things as he does. He, however, doesn't spot anything of note.
Is it that we're unable to spot anything that he does, or is that he's just picking out like particular rocks?
Yes. Or they're things that you wouldn't have guessed as items that he would have spotted. You know, things like that. After the second time that it was Brunhilde, you decide to stop playing with him.
So we only played 2 rounds, huh?
All right. So I'm going to step away for just a second, and I'll be right back, and then we'll get started with the morning.
We can play I Spy with Wombat's office.
Good. Do you want to go first?
I spy with my little eye something. I think that's yellow.
Is it the scissors in the stand?
Yes.
Hey. And I was gonna go for the Keaton mask. No.
No, you knew me. It was going to be the scissors. Well, you're up next.
I can't actually make out what most of this stuff is. It just looks like a bunch of books.
There's a fairly easel one there.
Yeah. Our DM is artistically accomplished. They make really cool shit. I hope we've all seen it.
Yeah.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. All right. So, morning has broken. Seems like it's been a quiet night.
Does that count as a long rest?
It does, yeah. Go ahead and click your
All
long rests.
maxed out on our HP.
I'll click on Zippo's as well. Give him a long rest.
Oh, I got my key back. Yeah.
If you only had your key when you were trying to open the wardrobes, maybe you would have unlocked one of them.
I did open one, didn't I?
Yeah, but you didn't unlock it.
Eh. I was fully prepared to thrash all of them. But no, Marius was like, this is kind of rude. And he might have been right. But really, what is a dead king gonna do with his wardrobe? Like, he doesn't care.
All right, everybody has clicked the long rest button and confirmed and everything like that.
I haven't actually taken any damage
Sir.
Ever?
since our last long rest.
Okay.
And Yarvik's sitting at a pretty healthy level. Jordan, what have you been doing, Jordan? Just hiding in the back row there? Come on now.
Jordan was in the thick of it.
I'll still click the button though.
Oh yeah, I still click the button.
Yeah, of course. Out of curiosity, who has inspiration and who doesn't right now?
I currently do not have inspiration.
Yarvik still does.
I
Nope.
do not.
Does Ulrich have inspiration?
Nope.
Okay. Everyone who doesn't have inspiration, everybody gets one. That was some particularly excellent role playing. You guys were put in a very hard spot with the group being splintered and whatnot, and it felt like very real, and I really want to reward that role playing. Especially because you managed to do it while also sticking together, and that is commendable. So everybody gets inspiration that didn't have it. Those of you who did, I'm sorry that you're missing out on that, but I still applaud you guys as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel inspired. Thank you.
All right. So, what's your next move?
I think we're gonna switch to going as fast as we reasonably can after this guy. Right?
So you're gonna go at a fast or a normal pace?
I think fast at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try out these new horses.
I will say that at fast pace you'll go 30 miles a day, which is 4 miles an hour. But you'll have a -5 penalty to wisdom perception scores. So your passive perception will go down by 5 as well.
Okay. That'll... Look, if we get ambushed on the wide open plains with a -5 to perception between the 6 of us, plus our 7 horses, then there probably wasn't much we could do about it anyway.
It was meant to be.
I like how Roger's mentality is. There's not a lot we could have done. Pretty much, like there's always a reason for it, but it always ends with there's not much we could have done.
A very logical argument, but alas, nothing could have been done.
Yeah, he's pretty fatalistic.
Yeah,
is
it
the
seems
word.
like it.
Is the well, that happened. All right, guess this is our option.
Ulrich, are you doing anything with the globe? Are you reopening it like last time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to make sure before we start at a breakneck pace that we're going the right way.
Sure. The dot is significantly further out than it was before. It seems that Shadow traveled through the night.
Damn.
Seems unfair. That seems like cheating.
Still on the move?
Still on the move.
Huh. Well, that's worrisome. Does he not just need to sleep anymore?
Do you think he's walking, or do you think he has aid? You know, I bet he has a horse that is as dark as night, that has glowing red eyes. He just seems the type.
Are you talking about like the introduction to Ocarina of Time?
Yes. Not unlike this tale I once read in a book called The Ocarina of Time.
That's
Wait, was it like an ocarina that had like a clock on it?
Oh, no, those are reserved for the gods. This was just a magical little recorder flute thing that enthusiastically delivered the character from the past to the future, and vice versa. It's a good read. You should check it out sometime.
well, the past to the future is easy. We do that all the time.
Technically, we are all time travelers.
1 second per second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. It looks like the Shadow's got another 100 miles in this minute.
Oh, crap.
Nah,
We'll never catch him now.
guess we'll just have to give up. I'm kidding.
He's about here on the map. When you last looked at him yesterday, he was about here.
Damn.
He seems to be making quite the pace.
Yeah. Maybe he's got your ocarina of time.
Maybe. He has
maybe-
proved again and again to be full of all sorts of tricks.
Or maybe he'll be exhausted by the time we reach him.
I'm gonna make you guys the blue dot, and then make him the red dot.
Those are the tiniest dots I've ever seen. Oh, you can zoom in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can zoom.
They're still pretty tiny.
He's just going off the path. He's just like freestyling out there. That's some 4x4
I'll
action.
keep you guys on the road there. There you go.
He's doing a kickflip.
Dang.
All right,
Should we continue our pursuit?
Trivial pursuit.
All right, so you guys are going at a fast pace now, projecting that you'll get to about where Shadow is by the end of today.
Yeah.
Okay. So you break camp and basically whoop the horses into shape, into a further, including the draft horses that are pulling the wagon. And I guess your plan is to eventually veer off of the King's Road and go overland, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you like to do so? Right at the curve, travel along it for a bit, and then veer off? Or how do you want to accomplish this?
The ground's pretty flat here, right?
Correct.
Do we have any reason to believe that the wagon and the horses would get stuck in the off-roading? Or
I mean, anywhere where it's not paved, there's always the potential that you could throw a wagon wheel or step in a gopher hole and twist an ankle or whatnot.
Good thing we chose to be the bankers. We just always buy more parts. It's way better than being the farmer. I mean, it's real.
I love Oregon Trail.
I only mention these things now because you're walking at a fast pace as opposed to a normal pace.
Yeah, that's all fair. I mean, I say the most direct path, take the risks.
Do we remember where on the road the monster was digging trenches?
The
Good
Diggy
memory.
monster.
It was about here.
It was right where I was going to suggest we bail from the road. Nah, I'm with Ulrich. Let's get off the road now.
Okay.
I'm not driving, so I trust your instinct.
Because, I mean, ideally, the safe thing to do would be to take the road straight until the bend and then get off. But right around the bend is where the monster was burrowing under the road. So, I'd rather just avoid that in case it's still there.
Mm-hmm. So you begin traveling along along off the road and whatnot, and the dot seems to be matching pace with you as you continue forward. You do see the geometric pattern off in the distance as you continue off. It doesn't come quite close to you. You do see something glimmer within the geometric pattern as you continue eastward. And I assume you're going to still continue on, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least until we get more concrete information about what this glimmering is.
Well, without getting closer, you're not going to get much more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that's pretty much, over the plains, you don't encounter any other people. You just, to watch out for the geometric pattern as you go. So that's why I pointed it out. I wouldn't have even necessarily pointed it out if you hadn't remembered that it was there in the first place. So good on you for that. I will say that the dot has slowed up some, and you've gained some on it throughout the day. But it appears to be somewhere within the forest at this point, based off of the map you have of Seregen compared to the globe. But the sun is setting at this point. Or I guess 8 hours have passed. I don't know if the sun's necessarily setting yet. It is it's pretty much the solstice at this point, so it's the longest days of the year.
Well, should we push onward? I don't know how much time is of the essence here.
This weenie ran all throughout the night. Should we, give up resting a night to pursue?
Yeah, maybe we can at least half a night go at a normal pace instead of a fast pace.
Okay. I think it's in my card.
If we take a slow pace at night, then maybe some of us could get rest.
Let me pull out a sheet I've got. 1 sec. Okay. There's usually... I know that there's a guide for forced marches. I'm just trying to find it.
I think Xanathar's has some information about that, as well as the Dungeon Master Guide, but...
Yeah. I just had a card on it, and I just wanted to make it easy. Let's see here. I'll just look it up. I just want to let you know what your choices are and what the effects of it would be. All right. Forced March assumes characters travel for 8 hours a day. They can push beyond that limit at the risk of exhaustion. For each additional hour of travel beyond 8 hours, The characters cover the distance shown in the hour column for their pace, and each character must make a Constitution saving throw at the end of the hour. The DC is 10 plus 1 for each hour past 8. On a failed saving throw, a character suffers 1 level of exhaustion.
Well, in this case, we'd be risking the horses, not us, though, right? Because we're riding.
I mean, so what I will say is the hours of travel that are listed are presumed for is it for on foot or on by mount? I thought the travel pace was by mount.
It's so the fun thing actually, and this is actually kind of true to life. Horses can't actually go that. They can go faster over short distances, but in a
Correct.
day they can travel about as much as a human can on foot.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the ability to switch out mounts every 8 to 10 miles, then yeah, but
Right.
then you wouldn't be able to carry the other ones with you.
Right. So, in any event, a forced march, to my understanding, doesn't matter where it is because riding is hard.
It is, yeah.
Even if you're a good rider, it
That was going to
takes
be
a
my
lot out
point,
of you.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
it would be for the horses and for you.
exhaustion is really hard to get rid of in 5th edition, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
So I'd say let's.
No, not really.
Doesn't it just take like 3 days of regular sleeping or something?
It's just some long rest. You drain a level of exhaustion every time you long rest.
But you're
Okay,
still
how many-
fighting the
How many hours has Gerard been running?
He went through the
mean-
night, so
Yeah.
So 12 plus he hasn't stopped. So another 8, possibly another 12.
it looks like he did a double. So at some
So-
point in the night, he probably did sleep, but he did continue on for some time.
He probably didn't get a proper rest then.
He is a tricksy person, so perhaps he has some alternative ways of, staying awake and not exhausted.
So
Shadow
exhaustion
drinks a lot of
levels.
coffee.
The first level is a disadvantage on all ability checks. Second level is speed is halved. Third level is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Level 4 is hit point maximum is halved. Level 5 is speed reduced to 0. You can't move at all. And then level 6 is death.
That is a mood. I feel like I've been on level 4 IRL for years. Do you think that our target actually suffers from exhaustion?
With these.
At everybody.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't put it past him if he was a fucking ghost.
Well, you do know
Quite-
him as dead, so this is quite unusual.
Quite active for a ghost, but I'm not an expert in that sort of thing.
Nor am I.
In the interest of not chasing ghosts, why don't we rest for the night?
But we're so close.
We're at least a full day's ride out. I don't think we want to arrive there exhausted.
How many days have you lived? Like, you out of everybody have probably lived a lot more days than most of us. What's one more?
Hence, I agree. Hence me saying we should rest.
Perhaps that is why you have lived so many days. I get you. Okay, are we gonna do a long rest or just like a short rest?
mean, a short rest might be fine, but we don't want to be worn out at the other end of it.
Let's do the rest.
Full rest.
Long
the-
rest.
He's got to stop at some point.
Okay.
We'll get there and we'll be better fed, better rested.
All right. You guys rest for the night. Same shifts.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
All right. Roll perception checks, please, for shift.
17.
I'm getting better. Got that.
Oh yeah, you are. Look at that.
Okay, I used my 20 to break open a wardrobe earlier, so
Dun, 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 dun. Roger, you spot to the north what appear to be some sort of antlered animal, but the antlers are not like, for lack of a better term, wooden like normal deer antlers would be. Like it's not a normal rack. Instead, it's basically it's a deer-like in appearance, but the antlers are made out of electricity and they crackle off of it, and it lights the area around it, and it and a few others like it are grazing nearby, like maybe half a mile away.
It's the robots from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Is it really one of those stories, like a flute of chronology or whatever it was?
it was an ocarina.
Right, sorry. It's kind of the same thing.
You're right.
Ocarina, Electric Dira. I don't know.
Electric Dira of Time.
Rolls right off the tongue.
All right,
This is why I only read books, not write them.
Do you think simulacrums dream of these electric deer? That's real pretty, though.
I don't
You ever
think I've
seen
ever
it?
seen anything like this before.
All right, answer that. Your people don't have any stories or anything about that?
Dungeon Master?
Give me a history check.
History check.
Or a nature. Nature would work too.
No. Well, I have the same bonus, but let's call that a nature instead.
Okay. They're uncommon animals, but you've heard of them being in Seregen. They're generally not fond of people, so they're not often seen. They do stick to areas where they can hide easily.
Well, I've at least heard of them before, but they don't really come around civilized areas so much. I guess 50 miles from any road will put us directly into uncivilized territory.
Oh, Roger. Anywhere you and I are, it's pretty uncivilized anyway. Odd definition. Hey, I'm sorry for being a dick back there, by the way.
I get it.
Yeah. Well, shift's probably wrapping up soon.
I'll make sure to point these out to folks on the next shift and uh, remind them not to go piss them off.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do not want to have an electric antler coming at me. Hey, before we crash, uh, look, obviously we're gonna get Shadow to Marius, but we can't just straight up kill him. We gotta understand what's going on.
I So out of character. Roger's super conflicted here.
Yeah, no, that's
And
fair.
that's probably also really obvious on his face too.
Yeah,
It's kind of a
I know what you're saying. Look, he has to die, but how did he live? What is he doing? Like, what if you said you had to go talk to the puppeteers controlling you? What if, what if Gerard isn't really in control? What if
it's
there's
not
something
Gerard
else?
yeah. What if it's not
Right.
Gerard at all?
Right, exactly. I mean, hey, we gotta bring him to justice. I'm not denying that at all. I'm not saying, hey, let's go install him as the king now that there's a vacancy. That's not what I'm up to. But I am saying,
Would be damn convenient though.
I mean, yeah, I would prefer to just have an easier path to things, but I don't really like the way it happened. But I am saying we should probably try and understand what's going on, and if we until I figure out how to get dead bodies to talk to me, we're gonna have a hard time, getting answers from dead bodies.
I really should buy a snap. I can knock people out instead of just stabbing them.
Have you ever just try and just use like the pommel?
It's not really as effective as you might think.
Yeah,
Although
that's fair.
the pommel on Garrett's sword here is a hefty thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really play with the rapier too much, but except for the fencing classes back when I was a kid. But there's this one move that I knew, and you just aim right above the eye with the pommel, knocks him out like, I don't know, half the time at least.
Maybe with your strength.
I think if you're fast enough, you can do it too.
We'll give it a try. Might still get that sap though.
Yeah, that would be handy.
What are the deers up to?
They're just kind of grazing. They look up from time to time and peer out at your direction before grazing some more.
Cool.
All right, well, let's go get them wake so we can do sleep or whatever it is you call whatever it is you do. Trancing?
Meditate.
Meditating.
You should try it sometime.
I tried it once. I just sat there, head empty, no thoughts. Didn't really understand what I was supposed to be doing.
Is that a new feeling for you?
Well, no.
All right, let's go wake him up.
Yarvik and Jordan are woken.
We'll point out the electric deer is like, don't piss them off.
Nice light show.
I'm going to go meditate. I'd like them to still not be over here when I wake up. Anyway, good luck and good night.
Wow, damn. We matched Zippo's critical roll from last time. Did I say Jordan? I meant Zippo. Maybe I said Zippo.
I call hacks.
Well, we know Yarvik always rolls well for some reason. Until it really, really, really matters. And then he gets normal numbers.
True.
He is immortal after all.
Yeah, so about midnight, while we're keeping watch, the something startles the deer, and they run due west. No, due east. Excuse me. I did it again. We both look and we can't seem to see what might have startled them, but it seems they've run back toward the forest. Interesting. I do hope that wasn't us that caused that disturbance. Other than that, nothing really happens between our shifts, Yarvik. Last but not least, the last group, third shift.
$15.
I got a 10 or 11.
Zippo got a 6. At this point, Zippo's like confident that he can spot anything that's nearby and kind of doesn't take this night as seriously. Yeah, nothing seems to be going on. As day breaks, the day is still cloudy. As it was the other night. It's a little drizzly out and damp. But for the most part, it's still fairly clear. A little bit hazy out with the morning dew. The plain is also starting to get a little bit more hilly as you're heading more east. You guys heading out?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll be happy to know that the other dot did not move over the night. Looks like Shadow took his rest.
Here. Gotta wonder if he knows if we can track him. He has to assume we can, right?
Did we
He's
tell them about the
theoretically-
club?
No, he didn't, but he knew to speak to us with the ring.
I mean,
Yeah,
you guys
just
spoke to
wondering,
him
you know,
first.
We could probably
That's
ask
true.
him. Just ask him on the ring right now.
That's actually a good point. Huh. Well, that's a good point.
Didn't he make some request of you anyway?
Right, exactly. Why that man, Belgian, bravo. Um, I mean, yeah, I'll reach out see if I can get him to.
What are you gonna say? Like,
Well, I'm
I'd
gonna
ask him, but I'm very shy.
I'm gonna say um. This is a show, right? I'm gonna say Shadow, Gerard. I know you won't let me call you my king, but how can I prove myself? Where can I find you? Where did you go? I have so many questions. Put on that whole song and dance.
And you're just messaging this to Gerard, or are you doing this to the whole group and him?
Um, Now that's actually an interesting. Can we tell, like, when we message to each other, can we tell when we're messaging to the whole group? Like, can
No.
we see who's in the chat?
No.
Will Shadow leave us on red?
You get to decide who you're sending to. You don't know who else is being sent to.
Oh, then I would totally.
Well, blind copy.
Right? Yeah,
Easy.
yeah. Yeah. I think Ulrich would totally be on board or above board here, and let everyone hear it.
Okay. So you attempt to reach out to Gerard, and you don't get anything back.
Well, that's interesting.
What did he say?
Yeah, nothing.
Oh,
Out of character, what Wombat posted in the chat says we're probably not close enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, out in character, you don't really know how they work too much. So yeah. It's good to role play it out and figure out what's going on with them. Get used to them.
Maybe he's ignoring you. Maybe he doesn't think you're even worthy of.
Poor Marius.
Of chat.
Marius is like, oh, I'm going to be able to check in with him and know what's going on. Yeah. As soon as you guys left the city.
Marius would
Well,
be too
I
far
mean-
away too, wouldn't he?
If he doesn't think I'm worth it, maybe we can try people who do think we're worth it. Like maybe you can reach out to, the bosses.
I have some bad news about that, actually.
Oh,
Remember when I said everything was on fire? You're
Yeah.
bleeding. The Flames hideout was 100% up in flames. There was nobody out around there when I went by.
I mean, that's terrible. Kind of poetic, but terrible. um, all right, well, let's try to get a hold of Marius. Marius, can you hear us?
Marius,
What did you say to
hello.
Marius? Sorry, my
Can you hear us?
popped out.
Can you hear us?
I think you have to say over after every message so he knows when to start talking.
Marius, over.
I'll say over.
And Marius does not respond.
Roger.
Mm. All right, so either Marius really doesn't like us, or these don't work as far as we hoped.
Maybe he's just in the bathroom. I mean, it was a very nice bathroom. But, yeah.
Oh, I
don't
mean-
know. Maybe they don't span the entire continent.
I've definitely thought of y'all and answered y'all when I was We're leaving.
Coincidentally, that's not a relief to know.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes, Zippo tells me about a damn chipmunk he sees while I'm 100 yards away taking care of, well, making some acorns.
It was a nice chipmunk.
I mean, I won't deny it. It was a nice chipmunk, Zippo.
It's okay, Ulrich. It takes you like at least 10 minutes to take your armor off. We all know what you're gonna do.
Yeah. It ain't a secret. And trust me, if you don't take the whole outfit, the whole suit of armor off, it's not a comfortable experience.
You don't use the helmet to catch.
No. You only do that if it's someone else's helmet you don't like.
Again, I have to say, everybody, robes are very fashionable and functional.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a burly guy, but I still don't like it when I get pierced by a sword.
Okay, that's true. So
Yeah.
how far do you think these rings work? Like, I'm
Hard to
looking at
say.
this map here. Do you think it would work outside of one of these squares?
It's-
Probably not,
No?
unless you're on the border.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, Marius is going to be right disappointed with us.
Yeah, he really is.
He's probably talking to
Ah.
us right now, and maybe he thinks we're ignoring him.
Yeah. He may
Whoops.
actually try and kill us when we see him next.
Well, that's how life goes sometimes.
In fairness, I was expecting that anyway.
Yeah.
Onward.
We steady on into this forest, which is where I think the bandit camp was, the approximate location. Or are we going to go around the forest and check on our friends in Newpod?
I'm sure Newpod is fine.
So
If it's
Bandit
even
Camp
still there.
was down here.
Oh, this is a strange new location. Maybe it's a second bandit camp.
Maybe they'll leave their alchemist fire somewhere that people can actually use it instead of booby trapping the trees. We didn't have to burn it down. It just wasn't safe to steal the alchemist's fire.
Wait, that was an accident, right?
No, they definitely did that on purpose.
Oh no.
It was all tied up in the tree in a big net. We didn't have any other choice.
Yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So, are you intentionally deceiving Belzian?
He was there. He watched me do it.
I was there.
He was in the
Belzian
cave.
likes to think
wasn't he?
everyone has the best interest, but he's a little naive.
Fair
Roger
enough.
has a set of priorities. They just might be a little skewed.
It's like his foes.
No, that's skewered.
Oh.
All right. So, are you getting on the road, or I guess, have you been on the road at this point, or?
Yeah, well, I assume we're traveling while we're having this terrible conversation.
Okay, fair enough.
Roughly.
This is
following
flavor
Jared.
text. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
The duck sausage is the flavor text.
Are we still going at a fast pace? Is my question.
Duck sauce is endlessly versatile.
Yeah, well, I think we can go at least at a fast pace till we get to the forest, right? Then we'll probably have to stop and move slower. But just depending on how wide the forests are.
Yeah.
If we're talking like European forest or Appalachian forest or what.
fantasy forest.
All right, so about here, you start getting into a wooded area. It's not the forest proper that's thick and whatnot, but it definitely starts slowing you down some. You tend to stay outside of the thicker trees as you go further in. Who is going to be the party leader for rolling for travel at this point? Who would like to
Who's
be
driving?
responsible? You're saying the driver, so Ulrich?
Probably be Ulrich or Yarvik, just because they're the two most skilled at that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah,
Roll a
go for it.
d20, please. Just a straight d20
You're a
roll.
better roller than I am, for sure.
Did that go through? I don't think that went through.
It
Oh wait a
did
minute,
not.
I did it in the. I did it. I did it again. Hold on.
There it is. Okay.
Nice.
Very nice.
Knew we picked the right person.
Always coming through in the clutch.
All right, so you don't have any complications as you're going navigating through the woods. Yeah, so you have now reached. It's a very familiar wood to you. It's the similar types of trees that you saw further down. This is more the area where the king probably hunted. In fact, there's a fairly worn trail-ish type thing that you're following, where it's kind of clear but wooded. You know what I mean? Kind of like a fox chase area, if that makes sense.
A game trail, like a
game
wide
trail.
game
A
trail.
wide game trail. Yes. Thank you. So you're still able to make a fast pace, and even make it a little bit further in. It seems like tomorrow you'll be fully in the forest, and as you can see, Shadow has slowed down some. All right, so what's your choice for tonight?
It's probably the same as before. We got to post up, rest up.
Yeah, being a day behind isn't terrible.
Yeah, if we're going faster in the daytime,
Okay.
it'll be fine.
As you guys are making camp for the night, I'd like everyone to make perception checks, please.
$15.
22.
Man, I am. Every single one has been one lower.
Eventually, you'll reach a 3, and then you won't be able to get anyone.
It'll go down low enough so far that it wraps around and goes back to the top.
That's the hope. Yeah, give me to that 20.
All right.
What is it, Zippo? 15 or 16?
It's a 15 because he's rolling at disadvantage because he's out in the daytime.
Oh, right.
When it was nighttime, it was fine, but during the day, nope. Luckily, he rolled well despite that, so. So as you're making camp, you notice what can only be described as large burrows dotting the area. Some trees have actually been toppled as the holes have kind of not erupted, but emerged from beneath the roots of these trees. It looks like some animal has been burrowing and making exit or entry points to its burrow in this area.
Is this something Yarvik would have seen before?
Give me a nature check. Let's see. You've not seen anything like this before, no. The closest you've seen is maybe like a badger hole, but these are much, much larger. Where badgers would be a small creature, this is a large creature.
If it's just a really big badger.
Like a wombat of doom.
Are there any cube-shaped poops anywhere?
There are not that you can see.
I do not think it is a wombat. Should we take a peek? What's in these holes?
Maybe it's a wombat of doom.
I made that joke already. There is actually a wombat of doom creature that I had commissioned to be created. It's a D&D monster. If you guys ever reach level 17, you'll fight one. Don't worry.
I hope we
If you
live
ever
that long.
long. Yeah.
Can I inspect a hole to try to get more information?
Sure. You feel that you would be able to crawl through this hole pretty easily. In fact, Zippo and Yarvik could just stand upright in them.
Are they not bottomless? They're just like little pits?
No, they're tunnels.
Yeah,
Oh, so
Yarvik's not going to volunteer for that.
They keep going.
Yeah, they keep going.
Hmm. Do any of you think this is related to the tunnels and holes we saw outside of Jane?
I don't know, but I don't really want to find out. The last time we had to deal with a bunch of holes, there were spiders, and those spiders were not good.
They were very scary spiders, it's true.
If you'd like to compare, if anybody would like to compare those markings with these markings, you can make a survival check to see.
Which markings?
The geometric shapes that you saw earlier versus these holes. All right, Jaeger rolled a 14. Yeah, this seems to be a different type of creature. The creature that was making the geometric shapes seemed to be purposeful in making a pattern over and over and over again, whereas these seem to be more like living, like purposefully made in a different way. Like, you know what I mean? Like survival versus creation.
Like one's more natural and one's more like premeditated.
Yes.
With this one being the natural type.
Yes.
Do you think our friend Shadow had anything to do with these tunnels?
Seems unlikely.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine what he was doing with them.
Maybe they go to his secret lair.
He's a good 25 miles away from us on this map.
That's a lot of tunnels.
Well, yesterday he was 34 miles from us, so that's pretty good.
So we're making progress at least. Probably make more progress if we don't provoke whatever dug these tunnels.
So, do we actually want to camp here tonight, or do we want to continue forward or backward in order to avoid whatever this is, or what do you think, Roger, Ulrich, anyone?
I'd be happy to move on, just not too far. I don't want to
Yeah.
tire any of us out or the horses. We've been gaining ground, just resting and traveling at a fast pace.
As the forest becomes more dense, the traveling is going to get harder. We're going to have to slow down.
Are the horses able to fit into these tunnels? Like, are the party able to go inside these?
They could fit a large creature, but they're not large in size, if that makes sense. It's like if I dug a hole for a medium creature a medium creature could crawl through, that doesn't mean that I could stand upright in it, right? So, just to kind of give perspective on it.
That helps. Thank you. I'm okay with camping a little bit away from these mysterious holes.
Yeah. Yeah, let's move on a bit.
You go deeper or head backward a bit.
I vote deeper.
I'd second that vote. All in favor?
Yeah, definitely go forward and not backwards.
Okay, sounds good. So now that you know what you're looking for, these holes don't seem to dissipate. It seems sometimes the holes are more trenched or collapsed. Sometimes they dig straight down. But it seems like maybe there's several of these creatures in this area. They don't seem to dissipate, but they don't increase either. Some of these holes look older and less recent, but many of them appear to be more recent, as in within the last day or so.
Well, that's terrifying. Are there other animals around here? Can we, see and hear forest animals?
Yes, you can hear the normal sounds of nature.
It's probably fine then. Might be best to set up camp near one of the older tunnels rather than one of the newer ones.
That seems sensible to me.
Yeah.
I'm all for a rest, and hopefully we don't have any terrible dreams about whatever might have made those tunnels. Maybe like a really big worm or something. Some kind of mole.
There you go.
All right. And with that, the party takes its rest for another night. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. Not every session ends in a cliffhanger. Or does
I'm
it?
gonna pretend this one was.
Dun dun dun.
What made the holes?
Well, guys, excellent session. I really enjoyed this one. Thank you all for joining me out there in Twitchland. Joining us, I should say, I guess. So we will be back here in another 2 weeks from today. That'll be the 25th of January. Thanks for joining us for another year of adventure here on the channel. And that being said, Year of Adventure is the theme of this year for my channel. I'll be playing a lot of adventure games, and the adventure for the Seregen campaign will continue. So meet us here at the normal D&D time of 7-ish every other Tuesday, and I will stream as I can otherwise. I'll put the connections below for those of you who are new to the channel, and if you're already here and you're already following, thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. So long, everyone. Bye.
Bye.